Believe the picture and see the truth. 2 plus 4 equals 6.
We're breaking the conditioning!
One weekend, after an extremely tiring and tedious work week, you decide to do something a little bit different. Being an outdoorsman, you decide that you're going to go camping. Pulling out your trusty map, you point to somewhere you've never been before. You are the adventurous type, and it's a challenge for you. Getting there, enjoying nature, reconnecting with yourself, everything about it sounds grand. So much different than your daily life of working in a cubicle. With your mind set on camping, you head out. Maybe you even bring some of your friends with. After all, the woods are nature's Las Vegas, and what happens out there stays out there. Along for your journey, you brought only the most basic of provisions, the necessities for camping, something to hunt rabbits with, some books to read, a canoe, and if you want to be a little girl about it, even a tent. As nighttime settles in, you and your friends take in the majesty of nature. You enjoy the stars around a campfire. You point at butterflies or whatever other gay shit people do in the woods. It's paradise. That is until you hear the noise. Just off in the distance, you can hear it ever so slightly as it gets louder and louder. As you all frantically look around to try to figure out where the noise came from and what it is, you suddenly hear it. It's an eerie sound, almost human-like, just from the edge of the woods. It seems to be calling to you, almost as if it's speaking English, but not quite. Finally, that guy, that guy, the brave one, decides that he's going to go investigate. He's going to see what's making that noise and what exactly it's saying. As you all watch as he vanishes into the tree line, you begin to wonder, is it a good idea for him to go alone? As you wait with bated breath, minutes turn into hours, and the hours seem to stretch on. Your friend, that guy, hasn't come back yet. You all begin to worry, to wonder if maybe he got hurt or injured out in the woods. Maybe that noise was a predator. Maybe he's being eaten by a mountain lion. I don't know. It is Connecticut, and you're pretty sure that happens there. Finally, you hear the noise again. Only this time, you're able to see what it is. As you run to the tree line, you could swear it looks like your friend, but as it comes in closer, something's not right. Oh sure, it looks like them. The physical features are almost the same, but something's different. Something's off. As they come to sit back around the campfire, their attitude and mannerisms are completely different. It's almost like they can't even speak the language. Every time you ask them a question or something personal, all they respond with is, whoop whoop. And stranger still, they don't seem to know your name, or anyone's name. They just keep calling everybody fam. As the darkness extends and nighttime continues, they try to lure you back into the woods. They have something they want to show you. They tell everybody to follow them out. But you have a feeling deep in your gut that something is wrong, that something has happened tonight that shouldn't have, and that if you go into those woods, you're never going to come back. This story's not unique. In fact, it's a common tale told across multiple communities online. From website to website, consistencies remain between each of the iterations. Usually, it involves going into the woods with a group of friends, hearing strange noises or awkward calling voices from the edge of the tree line. Somebody will go to investigate, and when they come back, they're changed. They may look the same, but they're completely different. They aren't your friend or family member anymore. And I guess that's what makes a skinwalker so terrifying. It's the idea that they can take anyone and assume their position, and that you'll almost never know, that they can pass themselves off almost perfectly as the person you once knew. That is until you realize just what a skinwalker is. A skinwalker is a drunken Indian, a Native American who's imbibed too much firewater. And when you realize this, you can take safety precautions to protect yourself when you're out in the woods. Firstly, always read the signs. Most forest rangers are aware of skinwalkers in the vicinity. They put them into special containment areas, quarantines, called reservations. These reservations are meant to contain them, so it's important to know where you're camping and where the nearest reservation is. Skinwalkers are much like bears in that they're easily intimidated by something that's larger than them. If you encounter a drunken Indian in the woods, the correct way of scaring them off is to stand on your tippy toes and spread your arms out and holler at them. Don't back away. Don't look away. Stare directly at them and holler. And one of the biggest things to remember when dealing with a skinwalker is what every one of the stories you'll read online says about them. No one ever dies. And story after story after story, it's always people talking about encountering them and never being hurt or killed. Statistically, you have a 98.8% chance of surviving an encounter with a skinwalker. The eastern gray squirrel is more dangerous because it can carry rabies. A drunken Indian isn't very dangerous. They just trip a lot. So once you have all these facts and can utilize this information, skinwalkers pose very little risk. And these tips aren't something new. In fact, they're from all around the world. Skinwalkers aren't just a North American occurrence. Culture after culture has encountered some variation of them. And over the years, they've gathered this information to help you during your next camping excursion. Now, with Halloween fast approaching, your kids may be interested in seeing what a skinwalker is up close and personal. But because they're young, they're probably scared of the woods. It'd be very hard to get a 10-year-old to go out at night into the forest. Luckily for you, you can find skinwalkers in an urban environment. They congregate at a place called a casino. These casinos are home to numerous skinwalkers. So feel free to grab your kids, get them all dressed up on the 31st of October, and bring them to a casino. You're going to want to look for something called a blackjack dealer. These blackjack dealers will be more than happy to sit and interact with your kids. They can interact with them as much as they like, even petting them. Just be sure to bring their favorite food, acorns and peanuts.